I think it's a good and a bad idea. Does that make sense?
Not yet. Go.
It's a bad idea because it's a risk. It's a risk. You are getting ready to allow a guy who's been consistent across the board at the quarterback position since he's entered the National Football League as a starter. He has won games, he's gone to playoffs, he's led the league in touchdowns. I can go on and on statistically. Just over the last 3 seasons, you talk about passer ratings the last 3 seasons, at least 30 starts, Dak Prescott #1, followed by Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Tua, and Patrick Mahomes. Last 3 seasons in touchdowns, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Wins in the season in the last 3 seasons. Dak Prescott sits at #4 with 31. You say, well, what does all that mean? We don't have a championship. You know, what does all that mean? We don't have a championship. That's what you'll tell me. And what I'll say to you is, that's correct. And here's where it's fair. Because if I'm Jerry Jones and I'm paying a quarterback $50+ million and I can't win a championship, I may not want to continue to keep investing in that. But there's a risk. Because there's about 10 teams that'll probably be looking for quarterbacks next season, maybe 8 teams, that'll really be looking for a quarterback via the draft, free agency, and all those things. He will be the #1 quarterback available by far on the open market.
Kirk Cousins.
No, not yet. Well, whatever you want to slide him on, whatever. If you're willing to run the risk of him performing the same way he's performed his entire career, you win the division, win 12, 13 games, put up big numbers, go to a Pro Bowl, make an All-Pro, possibly be in the MVP conversation or win the MVP, and you, at the end of the day, say, we're not going to do this for you right now. We want you to wait, and we'll give you the world if you deliver. If you're willing to do that, that's a risk that you're going to take. Because in the end, he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to feel a certain way about how you are treating him. And when the time comes up for him to get that deal, and he tells you, never mind, because you can't franchise tag, there's nothing you can do. He's going to walk out the door. A person and a player that you've developed for 8+ years, that you drafted, you developed, you made, walks out the door and decides to go to the Washington Commanders or whatever. You're willing to take that risk. Okay, that's on you. That's on you. Because I'm telling you, they're going to be lined up in the National Football League to sign Dak Prescott. And then, so you're willing to just blow things up in Dallas after this season and move on from Mike McCarthy, who is playing on an expired contract, Dak Prescott, an expiring contract. You're willing to just say, never mind, we don't want a quarterback. When people are starving in this league to get quarterbacks that can play this at this level.
This will be win-win for me. Because speaking of chip on shoulder pads, now we put Dak Prescott on the hot seat. Now we've turned up the fire under Dak Prescott and said, show us. Jerry finally saw the light and said, you know what? I'm tired of throwing good money after bad, because Dak Prescott has given us over 8 seasons as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback 2 playoff wins in the wild card round, Keyshawn. He's won 2 games in the wild card round. He has not won a divisional game. He obviously has not even played in, nor obviously won, an NFC championship game. 2 in the wild card in 8 years to make him 2-5 in the postseason. And each of the last 3 years, we ingloriously exited the playoffs as Dak stunk in each of those 3 season-ending playoff losses, to the point that CeeDee Lamb's mother tweeted, Dak ain't it. And I'm so with her. She is a smart woman, because Dak ain't it. If your goal is to go win a Super Bowl, Dak ain't it. But let's see what he's got. Let's put him on the hot seat this year and say, show us what you got. And then let's just say he goes to New Orleans and wins the Super Bowl. And then he says, screw you, Jerry, I'm out. I'll be a happy camper because I got what I wanted. I'll take the Super Bowl, and he can go to the Commanders.
But it ain't about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm speaking as a fan.
It ain't about you.
Yeah, but I'm lifelong diehard. I'm since 10 years old.
So you ready to win one championship and then sit around for another 30 years and complain?
I don't care. We'll start over. I'll take the one championship because I haven't even sniffed an NFC championship game in almost 30 years.
Okay, let's say you don't win a championship, you go to NFC championship game.
Yeah.
And you happen to lose because the defense lets you down and the guy has a 60-yard walk-off field goal.
Yeah, well,
you want Dak gone
take
too?
That, yeah.
Yeah, you still want him gone.
Well, let's see how that plays out. I'm asking you a question today in real time. Okay.
Do you still want him gone?
No, I think he
because he'll walk. Because what you just did, regardless of what he does in the postseason, he's going to tell you bye-bye.
Okay, good.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Okay, I'm just telling you what my gut feeling is.
Feelings are going to get involved.
My gut feeling is that right here, right now, I don't think this team can make the playoffs. That's what I believe.
That's a far stretch, though, Skip.
No, it's not a far stretch.
That's a far stretch.
Look at all the players we have lost and all the salary.
Who did you lose?
Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard.
They moved
Van Der
Tyron
Esch.
Smith to left tackle. Van Der Esch couldn't play.
Okay. Yes, he could.
He could not.
I mean, when he could play, he could play.
From Boise, I get it.
No,
he couldn't play.
No, he made a Pro Bowl.
I'm not talking about multiple years ago.
Okay,
I'm talking about last season.
I know, but we've lost
the last couple seasons. He's just been a guy.
Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup couldn't play.
Dorrance Armstrong could play. Dante Fowler could play. And Hankins could play. And Neville Gallimore could play. I just keep going bam, 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 bam.
You got salary cap issues. Everyone's number increases from last year. You guys have increased about $65 million.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott went from 23 to 55. Okay? But so when you start looking at the numbers, CeeDee Lamb went from $4.5 million to $18 million in cap charge.
Speaking of that guy, we got one guy on this team who can flat out play. One guy I trust, and it's 88.
So Micah can't play now?
Okay. This is interesting to me because I have yet to see Micah come up big in a really big game.
That's fair.
And I saw, this is interesting to me. I was watching.
He's still young.
Jory Epstein does a really nice job for Yahoo Sports, and she's covered the Cowboys for a while. I saw a clip where she was talking on one of her podcasts. She said she talked to a defensive coach in the league who's talking about Micah Parsons and that he'd made a really good point. And this is true. I'm going to bring it up because it's a bullseye. When the Cowboys are winning and front-running, Micah's had some big games. He's had some big sack games against inferior opponents. But seriously, every big game, every big playoff-type game, such as the Green Bay game at home, he doesn't show up for those games. So do you want to pay him? Sure, you have to pay him, but you're like, I don't know. Is he that guy?
No, well, seriously. You have reservation.
Well, I do.
Whether or not
who wouldn't?
You want to pay Micah Parsons.
Okay, he had his worst stats of any game of his career against Green Bay, his worst pass rushing stats.
Okay.
And I think what that defensive coach told her is valid. That's what we've seen so far, and he's still a baby. You can argue to me, but we've seen 3 years. Okay? And I think
he's giving you double-digit sacks in every single year.
All right, but he tails the last 5-6 games of the year, and he's done it routinely.
Does he need to do some things in crucial situations to dispel the notion that he is not the player that he was picked to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so.
Everybody's going to arrive at some point. If you're telling me 2 years from now he's the same guy as he is this year, then you got me.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
I think you learn from whatever little mistakes you have, and you grow from that.
And
you get better.
I hope he literally grows into a man body because he's a little light in the britches, just a little bit. He needs to pack on a little. He said he gained 10 pounds of muscle weight last year. I didn't see the impact of it. He's just winning on quickness, and over time he gets worn down by the 350-pound bull elephants who are blocking him.
Sometimes it's scheme.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's teams taking you out because they do things that will take you out. Everybody's not going to be perfect every single game, Skip. But to sit up here and try to kind of dance around the idea of not paying Micah Parsons.
No,
you already don't want to pay the quarterback.
That's the one where I will close my eyes and plunge on Micah and hope that he starts to figure it out. And it might be more mental than physical at some point. You just have to learn how to do it.
So if you got Trayvon Diggs, you got Bland, you got Micah Parsons, you got Curse and all the other guys on the defensive side.
Malik Hooker,
Malik Hooker, all of them. Defense ain't really losing nobody. Lawrence is still there, okay?
A lot of pass rush depth.
Yeah, but they can replace that depth. That's what they do for cheaper. They go out and they replace it via the draft or late free agents into the summer.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I know,
offensively, you got a makeshift offensive line that you're not sure about, but you still got...
I didn't mention we lost Biotish. We lost a really good center.
Yeah, but you still got top receiver.
Yep.
Nice compliment at number 2. A nice tight end that came into his own.
He did.
A
Jake
top
Ferguson.
6 quarterback. All you got to do is find another running back.
Where did top 6 come from? Statistically or in overall performance? That guy, all those numbers you threw at me?
I'm just comparing. I'm throwing these numbers at you because I'm letting you see the other quarterbacks. The Jets ain't talking about getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. The Cincinnati Bengals ain't talking about getting rid of Joe Burrow.
No.
The Miami Dolphins ain't talking about getting rid of Tua. And we already know what Kansas City ain't talking about. But the Dallas Cowboys are talking about, we don't want this guy because he fails in the playoffs. Well, Aaron Rodgers fails in the playoff too, and they gave up a handsome ransom of money to go get him. Joe Burrow, he's still incomplete because he got to the Super Bowl, but he's got more left on the bone. Tua failed in the playoffs too multiple times. Okay? And Miami ain't talking about getting rid of him. This is all I'm trying to tell. Josh Allen, last 3 years, 100 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 105, Dak Prescott, 96. Buffalo ain't talking about getting rid of Josh Allen.
No, he's better than Dak. He's just better than Dak. You know it, and I know it.
He fails in the playoffs. Your argument with me is the man is 2-4, or 2-5. 2-5 in the playoffs. That's what your argument is.
Yeah.
I just know that Josh Allen ain't won no Super Bowl and ain't been to one.
No.
So what's the difference between him and Dak Prescott?
You know what the difference is? We're the Dallas Cowboys and they're the Buffalo Bills. That's what the difference is. And
I'm talking about the player.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the team or the logo
Keyshawn,
or the city. I'm just talking about the player.
Next year, what team will have the top 5 TV ratings in games next year? What team? It'll be America's team.
But that's the circus that comes with the Cowboys.
Is it the circus?
It's the circus. It's the celebrity owner. Okay, the celebrity general manager. It's America's team. Everybody wants to watch the Dallas Cowboys because they want to watch them fall on their face. Okay, that's what people want. But I'm not talking about that. I just want to know why you want to get rid of a quarterback in these other teams that this quarterback is in the same line with. They're not trying to get rid of their quarterback. They're trying to keep their quarterback and build around them.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the most valuable team in the world right now?
Dallas Cowboys.
It's like by far the most valuable team.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that have to do with him?
Okay, so I've been around long enough that I watched actually the Dallas Cowboys play in a whole bunch of Super Bowls and win 5 of them. Okay. 5 out of 8. And I watched Don Meredith play at a really high level, couldn't quite get it done. But then I watched Roger Staubach just take it completely over the top. And I watched Troy Aikman win 3 Super Bowls. So I know what that feels like and tastes like and smells like. And Dak ain't it. If we are that team, we got to go get that guy at that position because it's by far the most important position in all of sports. And we don't have that guy. We have a 4th-round pick that we lucked into, and he plays for a 4th-round pick at a very high level. And we've won 12 games a year for 3 straight years. And what do we have to show for
How many first-round picks? Just off the top of your head, how many first-round picks have won Super Bowls, man?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter what round you in. Yeah. That's over with. That's only in April. I mean,
too many times he turns back into a 4th-rounder when you need him the most. Like at San Francisco on a Sunday night in a regular season game, he throws 3 picks and we lose 42-10.
They got your number.
Right? And at Buffalo,
they got your number.
We got blown off the field. They ran the football, but Dak was pretty miserable in that game, and we lost 31-10. We even lost a game at Arizona, 28-16, and
Dak don't play defense.
Yeah, but he stunk in that game.
Your defense gave up 222 yards, man. Your vantage defense that you told me when I first started working with you, it's the #1 defense. We got the #1 player, all the things that you say. And they go 2 weeks into the season and go to Arizona Oh, but that's right, because Trayvon Diggs got hurt, so it affected the entire team.
It did.
Okay.
There was a cloud hanging over the team.
All right.
Yeah.
Then the curse was lifted because Jimmy went into the Ring of Honor. The curse was lifted.
It felt like it. And we lucked out against Detroit.
You're going to run out of excuses about why y'all can't advance. Because when Dak Prescott is gone and he's playing for the Raiders or some other team, you'll be sitting there going, I wish we had Dak Prescott. I wish we had Dak Prescott.
I will never, ever say that.
Okay.
Trust me. And if Jerry Jones is the general manager...
This is why I can't wait till football season start.
Okay, good.
So I can walk in here and laugh every week at you and Michael.
As I was trying to say, if Jerry Jones is half of the GM that he says he is and thinks he is, he'll go find a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. It is doable because I see it happen fairly regularly. Let's just go find a quarterback. There are Brock Purdy's out there. Maybe Trey Lance is Brock Purdy. You never know. Maybe if he gets a shot with a change of scenery, he's going to be a whole different guy.
Maybe so. Maybe he's Jordan Love. Take
Jordan
that
Love.
chance.
How did they find Jordan Love?
Just go
Bottom
draft
of
the guy.
draft.
Just do that. Why not?
Interesting. Well, it worked for Green Bay. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.